Hello class. You may be able to tell that I'm doing this video by myself, so I apologize for the production quality, but we're going to talk about melody and a little bit of harmony today. This first lesson is just going to be melody. So the first thing we need to do before we can talk about melody is to talk about what the different notes are that we use in our Western music. So we're going to look at the piano here. And if you look closely at the piano, you will see that the keys are arranged in black and white notes. The white notes run straight across the keyboard. They're all evenly spaced from left to right. But when we look up at the black keys, we can see that the black keys are spaced with 2 notes and 3 notes in groups all the way across the keyboard. Those 2s and 3s are what give us landmarks as musicians. So as I'm looking here, I find the 2 black keys here. I go down to the left side, and this I know is a C, because everywhere on the piano that I find 2 black keys, I go down to the left side, and that is always a C. If I find 3 black keys and I go down to the same left side, this one is an F. So that gives me 2 of the main landmarks, and when you're starting you might just have those 2 landmarks. Then you can use your alphabet to find all the other notes on the keyboard. Here's a C, so up from a C is a D, and down from a C is a B. So our alphabet just goes left to right, straight up the alphabet, starting here with A, B, C. Notice that the C is next to the 2 black keys. C, D, E, F, G. And then we don't have an H in music, so we get right back to A. A is always going to be on the 3 black keys set. It's going to be between the right side keys. That's an A. And here's a C. Again, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now the notes in between there, between the white key notes, which are all the letter names, we have some black keys that are in between, say C and D. We have a note in between, and I can name that note by calling it either C sharp, meaning C, but I go up a half step from C that way, C sharp, or I can go from D down a half step. This becomes D flat. And this note actually has 2 names. It can be called C sharp or D flat. And there's a third name that we're not going to bother with right now that it possibly could be called also. For any of you that know about music, that's B double sharp. But that's not important today. So we are going to start and arrange these notes into scales. And what scales are collections of notes that run left to right. For instance, if you play C up to the next C, this is a C scale, and that particular scale is what we call a major scale, and that is the underlying music for all the music that is in a major key. So major key music is, we generally think of it as being kind of happy music, a melody like all the melodies that could be coming out of that set of notes, we could say come from the major scale. So, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, for instance. Get the idea? That was a wrong note there. Interesting thing about that particular melody, which I didn't realize, I'm sorry to say, until I was about 20 years old, this is the same melody that is used for the alphabet song. So we could say, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Or we could say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. It's virtually the same song. And there's another third song that uses that same melody, which is, Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Interesting that those 3 melodies are the same. I would memorize those or learn them in different folders in my brain when I was young, and it was much later that I actually put together that they were the same melody. So let's talk about another melody, another scale that we can play, which is the minor scale. Minor scales, instead of playing from C to C, if we want our basic, all the white keys from C to C makes a major scale. If I go all my white keys from A to A, I get a minor scale. And this gives us kind of a sadder sounding. We think of this scale as being sadder than the major scale. And if I were to play my the song that I just played, let's play a minor key version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I'm just playing the first phrase of this each time. But Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as a minor melody has a very different character to it. And when we talk about harmony, I'll show you the same example, and I'll put some chords underneath that to make it, to reinforce the sadness or the happiness of the major and the minor keys. I'm going to stop here, I think, for our first lesson, and we'll follow up on this with scales part 2 coming up soon. Thank you.